So I'm joined by manager David Artell. I'll touch on Newport to start. Obviously, all that way, 0-0, but keeps us in the playoffs places. Do you have any sort of final takeaways from that?
Yeah, I think Newport is going to be the test for the next few games, if you like, because we've set a fairly high bar for what we are at the minute. We'll be expected to win. I thought it was a resolute performance. I thought both sides could have won, both sides could have lost. We didn't play as well as what we could have done. However, we still didn't lose the game. We know where we've got to improve. The fact that we're 7th in the league, and for my belief is we're not playing particularly well at the minute. That's not a criticism of the lads, because I've told them, you know, to their faces, if you like, and they agree by and large, because where we need to get to and what we want to do, you know, we've got to improve. And I thought last Saturday sort of reflected that, of where we are really. But once we do improve on the bits that we need to improve in, then we're going to be a good team. But we're not a good team yet. So it's sort of encapsulated where we're at really. Hard to beat, hard to break down at times. But areas to improve. And I think that 90 minutes sort of summed it up really.
Yeah, and obviously how's prep this week been, moving on from Newport? Yeah,
look, we've had a free week, which is good. By and large, obviously we had the Lincolnshire Senior Cup on Tuesday, but yeah, we can get more work into them to improve. So we've got to be really mindful that we're not dictated to by results or opposition. We're on this journey. We know where we've got to improve. We know what our next big hurdle is, and if we get that quite quickly, then we will be okay for an extended period of time, rather than just the first 15 games, which is, you know, a fair chunk. It's a third of the season, but we've got to keep getting better, and not get carried away with league position, home form, away form, whatever it is. Next week's opposition, this week's opposition, last result, and keep building and keep working forward. And if we do that, then we'll be okay. The quicker we do that, you know, the better. So. Lots of work still to do. The lads are on a right good go, and we'll see if it works this Saturday.
Yeah, and you've got some obviously some big names coming back into the side as well. Curtis and Jordan both getting some minutes. What do you sort of feel like their impact's going to be once they're back up and running at full capacity?
Well, obviously we had Jordan for 60 minutes, 75 minutes, and 90 minutes or something like that. The first. 3 games early on the season. We haven't had Curtis all season, so in essence it's like signing 2 new players. Like I said, they had 30 minutes over the course of the last couple of weeks. They've had a bit longer on Tuesday, so we're not quite there with them, but at the same time they're heading in the right direction, so they will help without a shadow of a doubt, because they're 2 really good players. So looking forward to seeing them back on the pitch whenever that might be.
Yeah, and but for the rest of the squad, how's the group looking in terms of injuries and going into it?
Yeah, we've obviously got Charles is out for a while still, Jake's out for a while still, Donny's out for a while still. So there's them 3, you know, making their way back, and then we'll always pick up little niggles here and there. Because of the calendar, the relentlessness of it, you know, you're playing certainly every 8 days, if not every 4th day. So there'll always be little niggles, but at the minute we're heading in the right direction, and we'll hopefully have a stronger squad, if you like, to choose from than we had for the previous 10 games. You know, last Saturday was the first time all season. And it was, you know, 20th game, 21st game, whatever it was, where we actually had to make a decision on who was on the bench and who wasn't, which was welcome. You know, don't shy away from them. Whereas the previous, well, up to this point, we've never had to do that, because whoever was fit was on the bench. So, you know, it was quite good to be able to work things through on that side, and who could influence the game from the bench as well, where we haven't had that, and it's cost us in some games. That's the truth. the injuries, but hopefully that's past us now. Hopefully.
Yeah, another big positive to build on as well, like you mentioned earlier at Newport, you got the clean sheet. Sort of how important is that to continue that defensive solidity going into this weekend's game?
Yeah, I think have we had 3 clean sheets since last 4 or something like that? I don't actually know, but I know we've tried to tighten the screw a bit more. We have worked on that in terms of our shape behind the ball when we've got the possession, not being as open, not being as vulnerable to transitions. So it's all these little elements that we've got to keep working, keep developing, keep getting better at. I thought since Jordan's come back in the team, he's been terrific, like magnificent. Obviously saving a penalty last week highlights that to everyone. But at Wimbledon, he was very good against Man City. He was very good. Wheelston, he was good. So he's come back into the team and being a real good player, which we always knew he was, and that's helped keep clean sheets. So it's another step in the right direction, a small step, and we've got to keep that going whilst also, like I say, developing them other areas that we need to work on.
Yeah, and Colchester, when they do come here on Saturday, they come here looking for their first away win of the season, and obviously you've got different threats as well. I mean, last weekend you had Kyle Hodlin, this weekend you got Lyle Taylor. Does that sort of come into the build-up at all? Do you say something you mentioned to the lads?
Yeah, of course. When you're facing a 6'9" striker, that is a bit different than you'll face all the rest of the season. But then Lyle Taylor's not 6'9", but he's played at a much higher level consistently. And as much as we can say Colchester are looking for the first win, I think they've only lost 2 away from home in 7 or something like that. Just that they've drawn a lot. So we know they're not far off. And there'll always be a threat. Danny Cowley's sides are always a threat, always well set up, always hard to beat. And we've got to make sure we're hard to beat and we offer a threat going the other way. And if we do, then we'll have a good afternoon. Because these are what the home fans. We've won, I think, 3 at home out of 8. I think it is at home, something like that, in the league. And we've got to get back to winning ways at home. It's as simple as that. Whether it's Colchester or Chelsea or whatever it might be, we've got to win the next game. And there's areas that we think they're a threat. We've got to stop that. And we think there's areas that we can exploit their weaknesses, and we've got to make sure that happens as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.